Welcome back to the shop. So we got the steering box pretty well ready to come out. Just got one bolt left there. Got the rag joint split. To get that out, you got to make sure you take that bolt all the way out. I've seen guys get hung up on that. That bolt does sit in that groove, so you can't just loosen it. You got to take it right out. The power steering hose is removed. Shifter linkage just pops off there with a small clip. And then to shove the steering column back, I ended up taking the bracket off because that's coming out anyways. Loosen the clamp. And then I just unbolted the column bracket. Let the column drop down. It's just resting on the seat for now. Just got to disconnect the wiring for the tach and the turn signal. Let me go ahead and pull that right out of there. On the bottom side here, I just disconnected our steering linkage. I left the pitman arm on. There's no point in pulling it off. It's going with this box anyways. To get it out, I just used a 15/16 pickle fork, hammered it in there, and it popped right out, no problem. And we are definitely going to have to replace this. It is shot. So I'm going to go through and do tie rods and all that anyways, so we'll make sure we get that replaced. I'll probably just stick this one back in for now so we can get it over closer to the shop. We'll go ahead and do all that in the near future here. So I'll get this last bolt out of there and we'll wrestle this monster out of here. There we go. So it is leaking pretty bad out of this seal here, and it's also leaking on the input here pretty bad. So that's that. That actually wasn't too bad. It didn't take nearly as long to get that out of there as I thought. Kind of wanted to tackle this before I go and put the inner fenders back in, because heck of a lot easier instead of trying to crawl over the top of the truck. Pretty easy to get in there with everything out of the way. So I'm going to clean this up. Probably going to hang on to it for now. Apparently these are worth a few bucks, being that they're so tough to come by. And apparently they're somewhat popular with the guys with the slick side 66 and prior trucks that have manual steering and want to convert. If anybody's interested in the Bendix steering box, let me know. Alright, so I actually tucked the column back in there, fired the bolts back inside, and put the plate on. Just keep critters out. It is that time of year still. This way too, next week when the box shows up, I can bolt it in and double check exactly how much we need to take out of the column. I believe it's 2 inches from Bendix to Ford, but if anything, I'd rather have it a little on the short side. So we will tackle that next week. And you may have noticed I took the seat cover that was on the 71 C10 there and threw it in here. This seat's in okay shape, but it did have a cigarette burn and a few stains in it, so makes it look a little better for now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the dash pad out. These dashes actually aren't bad. They're fully painted underneath. Replacement pad is close to $1,000 right now for those of us up north here. So haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with this. I may try and repair it myself and just skin it with some vinyl, or I may get the dash pad cap, but those are a couple $100 as well. So I think for the time being, just to make it look a little better, we'll pop this out and just run with the painted dash for now. So I got the dash pad pulled out, and not quite as beautiful as some of the pictures I've seen of other trucks. This one looks like it might have been painted on a Monday morning, slightly hung over. It's blue in a couple spots here, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys are pulling my leg, but I've seen lots of these where they're pristine paint underneath, so wasn't too big a deal to pull it out. I'm going to clean the other one up, and then I think I will look at getting a cap for the old one, just to keep the cost down for now. I may look at possibly refinishing it, like I said, but it's in pretty rough shape. If you've never done one of these before, it's pretty easy. There's a series of bolts in behind that kind of run along the back and then down along the front as well. You will have to take your glove box out, which my original paper was in pretty rough shape. I do have a new one in the shop there to install, so I pulled that out anyways. And you can get up in behind here with a 1/4 inch ratchet, and then I used a 3/8 ratcheting wrench in a few spots as well. There was one, I think it was this one here, it was real tricky to get to. And then you just got to pull your instrument cluster out of the way, which isn't a big deal, and you can get to the rest of them. So I'll take you inside and I'll show you the back of it. So this is the back side. Like I mentioned, there's a series of bolts along the windshield here, which are fairly easy to get to. The tricky ones are the ones that are up and behind there, getting up under the dash. I think there's a total of 14 of them, and they've just got these little nuts which take a 3/8 socket. These ones here are a challenge because a 3/8 short socket is too short to get in there onto the nut, but a deep socket kind of pushes up against the dash. So you might need a wobble drive or 3/8 ratcheting wrench work for me in a couple spots. Once you get these loose, they pretty much back out by hand. You got to do the old mechanic's finger to get them out of there. Once you do get all the nuts removed, be warned, it will be kind of glued onto the dash. I thought I had missed a few nuts, but I just had to kind of pry and peel gently to get this unstuck from the dash. 50 years of heat kind of melts it on there. So if yours won't come off, that's why. You've got to kind of pry up against the windshield part, get those popped out, and then the ones at the front will slide out. Otherwise, you'll end up scratching the dash up if you're hoping to salvage yours. So like I said, this is in pretty rough shape. It's actually got a gaping hole there, and I could probably do something with this, but I think I'll just cap it for now. So I think that's all for today. I'm just waiting on parts now for that steering box. I got everything ordered last night, so hopefully it should be here this week. And then just kind of pondering what I'm going to do with this driver's side fender here. The passenger side there was okay, the inner structure was fine, but this one's pretty crusty, so I think I may end up drilling out the spot welds, cutting this off and building a new piece for in here. It'll also make it easier to get to the back side when I weld the patch on the outside there. Passenger side is all finished up. I know in the last video there was that little soft spot, so I cut that out, welded a patch in, ground everything out, and then I actually hit the paint with some polish last night, and it should shine up nice. Also got this one topped off with coolant, got all the air bled out, everything seems to be good. But when I had it outside, I noticed some drips. It looks like my master cylinder's leaking, which I just replaced 2 years ago. And I've suspected that boosters never really worked well from day one, so I might have to look at ordering another set of those and add that to the list of projects. Never ends. Anyways, I'm gonna tidy up here a bit, go plug away at a few more things, and I'll have another video once I get the parts in for the steering box, and we'll start putting that back together and modifying that steering column. Be sure to click the subscribe button down below there, and like I said in the last video, we're gonna be doing a small giveaway here when we hit 100 subscribers. I know that's kind of diddly squat when it comes to YouTube, but definitely got way more views and way more subscribers than I ever anticipated. So thanks to everyone who's supported us. Really appreciate it. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.